Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with a Pastor. Glad you could join me this morning. We're going through the book of Acts. We're in the second missionary journey of Paul. It's a journey which I enjoy because when I go over to Greece and then we take a boat over to Ephesus and all, we literally trace Paul's second missionary journey. And it's a very interesting tour that we do. Again, I'm going to be leading this tour next October, October 22. If you'd be interested in joining, just kind of shoot me an email or call the church, and we'll be glad to get you a brochure on that. But he's been in, he was revisiting the churches he had started in Galatia. He receives a vision of someone saying, come over and help us in Macedonia. So Paul goes a different direction what he's thinking about going, and he takes a ship and he goes over to Macedonia, which is modern day Greece. And they go to Philippi, where Lydia is converted. She's baptized, the first European baptism. They start a church there in Philippi. He has obviously problems where he's arrested, but the Philippian jailer becomes a Christian. He has to leave Philippi. He goes to Thessalonica. He has success there, starts a church there, but he has to leave because of persecution there. And now he's going to end up in Berea. Let's read about this. This very interesting group of folks. As soon as it was night, the brothers sent Paul and Silas away to Berea. On arriving there, they went to the Jewish synagogue. Now remember, Thessalonica had a Jewish synagogue. Berea has a Jewish synagogue. Philippi did not. Now the Bereans were of more noble character than the Thessalonians, for they received the message with great eagerness and examined the scriptures every day to see if what Paul said was true. Now, I like that. He comes to the synagogue and he starts talking about Jesus and talks about how Jesus is fulfilling the Hebrew Bible. And these guys are excited to hear this, that Messiah may have come, but they do something that every believer ought to do. They went and searched the scriptures themselves to see what Paul was saying, to see if what Paul was saying was true. They checked him out. He was teaching scriptures. It sounded good, but they went and read it for themselves. And it says, many of the Jews believed, as did also a number of prominent Greek women and many Greek men. So a lot of Jews are accepting Christ. Prominent Greek women, many Greek men are receiving Christ. Things are going well. But in verse 13 of chapter 17, it says, when the Jews in Thessalonica heard that Paul was preaching the word of God in Berea, they went there too, agitating the crowds and stirring them up. The brothers immediately sent Paul to the coast, but Silas and Timothy stayed at Berea. The men who escorted Paul brought them to Athens, and then they left with instructions for Silas and Timothy to join him as soon as possible. So things are going well in Berea until some of the Jewish folks from the synagogue show up at Berea from Thessalonica, and they cause trouble. They're stirring people up to the point to where Paul has to leave. Now, fortunately, Timothy and Silas got to stay back and kind of help organize the church there at Berea. But they sent some guys to show Paul the way to the coast. Now, I have driven that. I've been in a bus on that trek. It's a long trek, and it's a trek over many mountains. Now, they've cut through those little mountains. Now you can drive right through them, but in Paul's day, he would have to walk over several to get to that coast where they get on a ship to get over to Athens. It would have been a long trip, hard trip, and I've been on that same trail. And amazed at Paul's stamina for walking and going through. But that leaves it with the Bereans. I hope all of us are like the Bereans. If we hear something and we say, well, that sounds good, read it in the scripture for yourself, study it for yourself, meditate on yourself. That's what it should be about. Well, tomorrow's Friday, and I normally do teaching on Friday, but tomorrow I will not. I'm flying out later today to go see my new grandbaby, and I'll be there in Nashville. I'll be back by Sunday. Ann's been up there, so we're going to fly back Saturday, and also I won't be here tomorrow, but we'll be here Monday, and we'll see one of the famous sermons that Paul preached there in Athens. And so my prayer is that you'll have a good weekend. Go to church. It's time to get everybody back to church. And if you're local here and you're a member at First Baptist Texas City, I hope you'll come on and come back to church. We've been having better crowds. And then if you're in your area, let me encourage you to try and go back to church. It's time. It's time.